All right, Luigi Mangione. Luigi Mangione is due in court right now, as he is right now facing off against the fight for his very life. As, let's face it, folks, a lot has been flying and circling around Luigi in regards to what took place in December of 2024. Wow, who is to think that after all of this, we're right back where we started from in December 2025. What a year it was. A very interesting year. A very interesting year indeed. So, who is Luigi Mangione? Well, Luigi Mangione is a 27-year-old man who is right now facing off against a court case, who is right now dealing with the fact that he partook, or at least allegedly, it's going to allegations. Again, everyone's due for a due process for the assassination of United Healthcare CEO. Now, right now, what's being taken place is, and here we have a video in turn of the coverage of what he could be facing off against in the courtroom case. So let's go and pull this up here. A case that has garnered a lot of attention because everyone just loves their healthcare insurance company, right? Hey, folks, let's have democracy in the chat before we play the video. Do you like your healthcare insurance? Type 1 for, oh, Kit, it's so perfect. It's rainbows, sunshines, and butterflies. Type 2, Kit, if you ever mention healthcare insurance, rainbows, sunshines, and butterflies, I will find you and I will beat you within an inch of your life.
Luigi Mangione, the accused killer of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, is expected back in state court as his defense team asks for key pieces of evidence to be suppressed, including everything discovered in his backpack when police arrested the 27-year-old at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Among the items, a gun, bullets, and a red notebook. These newly released photos from a police body cam show Mangione sitting at a corner table wearing a face mask as police confront him. In court documents, defense attorneys say those officers searched his backpack without obtaining a search warrant and did not immediately read Mangione his Miranda rights. Prosecutors say the alleged killer wrote out his plans to murder the insurance executive in the notebook found in his backpack, including an entry where Mangione allegedly...
Look, here's the thing. There's procedures. You have to read a person their rights, and you do have to have warrants. You do have to have a lot of things to add up. Now, this is a federal case, and already it's been made clear from this administration how they view about Mangione, as the idea of the death penalty has been put on the table. Now, I understand, and I want to be very careful here, because the YouTube algorithm and rhyme is starting to, and all of social media's algorithm and rhyme is starting to act very suspicious here. But again, due to due process, we have to understand that there's been a lot of rumors surrounding whether Mangione is the wrong suspect or not. Now, again, everything will be revealed at trial, but the fact that the defense is doing this says a lot, because it's also important to note that, at least as it stands right now, even private phone calls between Mangione and his defense lawyers could have also been heard and listened into. You know, I don't want to say something so brave yet so controversial at the same time, but look, all this kind of stuff right now, it seems like there's this hyperactive effort to either try and move this case along as quick as possible so that Mangione's defense don't really have a chance to say their side of the argument. And the fact that this is happening right now says a lot in regards to how this case will play out in 2026 during the midterm election cycle.
Wrote someone should whack the CEO. Prosecutors say the search was justified, in part because police were concerned for their safety. The defense is calling it a violation of their client's constitutional rights.
Not guilty.
Mangione pleaded not guilty to state murder charges in New York, gun charges in Pennsylvania, as well as a federal murder charge that can carry the death penalty. It has been nearly a year since the fatal shooting, and interest in the case remains high, with multiple documentaries.
You could see that it was not a professional hit.
Luigi! Luigi!
All right, look, I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to say anything, especially when I watch this video, but I have in my notes. Notice how the guy's wearing the Luigi from the Mario Brothers hat, you know? It's about time that character gets all the love and attention, because it always goes to Mario. Give it up for Luigi. I love the video game, the Luigi haunted house ghost game.
And supporters still back Mangione with a fund for his legal defense, receiving daily donations amounting to more than $1 million. According to his legal team, the Ivy League grad has been keeping track of more than 6,000 letters he's been sent in jail. Now all eyes will be on the Manhattan courtroom, where a judge...
BW, look, don't think I forgot that, where Mario's in the friend zone. Jeez, Mario. All those times saving Princess Peach, and was nothing but the friend zone. That's why you roll with Luigi. Luigi gets Daisy all the time.
Judge will decide if crucial evidence can be used when the murder case finally goes to trial.
What to look for today, Luigi Mangione will likely be wearing a suit. He asked for special permission to wear civilian clothes, and that permission was granted. Also, this is likely not going to be over today. These hearings could go all the way through to the end of the week. What we're looking for at the end of them is a possible date for this trial. Savannah?
All right, Stephanie, thank you. I want to turn now to NBC's senior legal correspondent, Laura Jarrett. Laura, good morning. So the defense is throwing a lot of motions before the judge, trying to get some of this evidence excluded. That's pretty traditional for a defense strategy. What do you think has the best chance of succeeding?
These are critical motions for the defense, and they are highly unlikely to actually win these motions, guys.
You don't know. You don't know. There's a whole thing with the process and the wheels of justice. Now, right now, we're all waiting in wings. So anything can happen between now and later on today. Because, again, we know that my show only goes on for like an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. And, again, with all these court procedures and everything else, there's always that appeal. There's always a counter, everything else in between. We'll see. But let me just rewind that again here.
Jarrett. Laura, good morning. So the defense is throwing a lot of motions before the judge, trying to get some of this evidence excluded. That's pretty traditional for a defense strategy. What do you think has the best chance of succeeding?
These are critical motions for the defense, and they are highly unlikely to actually win these motions, guys. Obviously, they want to try to get all the most damning evidence thrown out here because of the writings being so damning, saying things like these parasites simply had it coming. Prosecutors show this proves a motive. Generally, you can't search someone's bag without a warrant, but the prosecutors are going to say here, as they almost do in every case, look, there was a nationwide manhunt, that a violent crime had been committed. We didn't know if there was a bomb in there. And almost always prosecutors win that type of argument. The judges just don't like to second guess law enforcement when it comes to that. And that's why Steph is saying it could be a mini trial, because you're going to hear from some of the officers who actually questioned him that day.
So then if that happens, if this team loses, then what happens? And then would they even get another chance to keep this from the jury?
Yeah, they'll get a second bite at the apple, but it's going to have to change their strategy, because it means that evidence isn't suppressed anymore. They're going to try to say, well, it's still prejudicial, but it's really a different case for them at this point. Remember, they've never said it's a mystery who committed this crime. It's not a who done it, right? We've seen the videotape ourselves. It's always been sort of a legal argument for the defense about what should get excluded. And so if it all comes in, they're going to have to adjust their strategy, I think, in some way here.
Or there's been this like odd public support for him. How does that play out?
Okay, hold on. Let's talk about the public support here for a second. All right. Now, obviously, it's very clear how Americans feel about the healthcare insurance. I don't care where you stand politically. We're the richest country in the world. And what's the leading cause of homelessness, bankruptcy, financial instability? And that is medical bills, medical bills, medical bills. Now, I'm not saying everywhere else is perfect, but in comparison to the USA, one bad day, you lose it all. So why is there support? Because I'm pretty sure, by the way, I did a terrible job pausing. I'm sorry. This was a terrible job pausing. I'm sorry to the news anchor lady on today. But nonetheless, try not to laugh. Why is it that people are supporting Mangione? It's because, well, I've read it in my live stream chats. I've seen it long before this incident with Mangione happened. 8 years of it, even long before Hardlands Media came into existence. I've heard the stories. I was on the phone with my health insurance provider for hours, and they denied me. Oh, my health insurance provider told me that we were going to be covered, and at the last minute, they told me that we're not. Or I'd hear a story about a friend or a family member or friends' family members talking about how they were given a ride by their health insurance provider. And who buys off our lawmakers? Big Pharma, the healthcare insurance industry. All the while, these laws are just written for them so that they don't have accountability. But yet, all the time, I've heard the horror stories. And, bubbling that rage inside. Oh, my God, if I could just get even, or I'm so angry. I'm so angry. You know what Mangione did? Hey, look, folks, hey, it's a crime. At least, again, innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But that's why there's support. That's why there is support. That's why there's support. Because people are fed up with their healthcare insurance industry. They're fed up with their healthcare providers because of constantly given a ride. Remember that doctor who did a few videos talking about how she had to deal with different healthcare insurance providers because she was fighting for her patients because, controversial, bold statement. And in fact, I'll probably see in the comment section below, geez, Kit, I'm a doctor. What made you say something so brave and so controversial at the same time? Gee, Kit, I'm a nurse. What made you say something so brave and controversial at the same time? Well, here it is. So to the doctors and nurses out there, I'm pretty sure you guys took an oath to take care of your patients. Your job is to make sure that they're A-OK, and then all of a sudden comes this big old roadblock, the healthcare insurance providers that stop you. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of moments in time where they just so upset. So that's the job of the doctor, to take care of their patient. Kit, that's so controversial. The job of a nurse, take care of your patient. Then comes in big old insurance, say, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. What a lot of fun. That's why there's support. All right. Or them getting scanned by their insurance providers. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So there you go. And la, 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 cha, cha, cha. If he did it. Even with good insurance, they rob you, says Sean Brown. Hey, folks, no such thing, no such thing, no such thing as a bad statement. But go ahead and add a comment when I clip this video. And let's be nice, if you want to, regale us with stories of your time dealing with your healthcare insurance provider. Were they A-OK, or was it a nightmare?
In this.
Yeah, it's something like 6,000 letters have been sent to him in jail. He's raised almost $1.5 million. Now, that's all public. That's not what's supposed to be coming in the court of law for him. But still, it just shows you how important jury selection, I think, is going to be in this case. They're going to have to really try to find a jury pool, not who hasn't heard of it, not even perhaps who hasn't heard of the writings, but who can be fair. And that's what's going to happen as this case approaches trial, guys.
All right, Laura, thank you very much.
Thanks, Laura. Appreciate it.
Okay, hey, great. Ha, 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 ha. There's a little bit more here. Let me go ahead and pull up this video here. And DC Fairbank, one of our moderators, my health insurance premium will increase over to $700 a month. That's not right. Okay? It's not okay. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And that's from one of our longtime viewers, and I'm sure all of you have the same kind of story too, some form or another.
Diane, it's been about a year since United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was gunned down on a Midtown Manhattan street, and today the alleged killer, Luigi Mangione, begins what could be a marathon hearing to determine whether certain evidence can or cannot be presented during his trial. Mangione's defense attorneys are trying to eliminate the contents of a backpack that police said they recovered from Mangione when he was arrested in Altoona, Pennsylvania. That backpack contained the murder weapon, a 3D printed gun and silencer, along with a notebook in which prosecutors say Mangione wrote about his motivation for the murder. Mangione has pleaded not guilty, and his lawyers have argued the Altoona, Pennsylvania officers searched him without a warrant in violation of his Fourth Amendment rights and questioned him without reading him his Miranda rights. And they're seeking to suppress statements Mangione made during the arrest, along with the contents of the backpack. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office has defended the way Mangione was arrested and questioned and searched. They'll be trying to preserve all of that evidence for trial. A date for that, by the way, Diane, has not yet been set.
You know, here's the sad truth of it. You know, this is just more than just a murder trial, because People are going to be talking about how they feel about their insurance providers. People are going to be talking about exactly how they feel because everyone has a breaking point. And in this very harsh economy, that's right, we got inflation, and inflation's not a good thing. Things are expensive. We just got out of a government shutdown, and now, oh, look across the horizon. We have another war. Hooray! We got money for war. We can't take care of our people. I get it. There's no such thing as a perfect system, but what we got here in the USA just does not work. But you want to know what's going to really boil your heart, boil your soul, boil your mind, and get you so furious you're going to be like, damn it, doesn't it suck? Well, your elected officials, United States senators and U.S. House representatives have gold-plated, crystal clear, gold-plated healthcare insurance. I mean, they're provided. I mean, they're taken care of. I mean, boy, oh boy, woo! If only you could have some of that, right? But you ain't going to get that. And never forget that that's also going to be on trial here. Our health care insurance. Because, look, I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but I got to tell you, man, people are getting upset dealing with and battling with their healthcare insurance providers. All right. My best friend's husband is entering insurance company bullshit when he was hit by an old geezer when he was crossing the street lawfully on his bike. I know. Your health insurance is only good if you've never used it. Insurance companies are the biggest fraud industry in this country, besides politicians. Well, Flex Diggs, you know what? You're asking. Hey, Flex Diggs, because of you, I'm going to ask this to the audience. Hey, folks, who do you think has more integrity? U.S. politicians, type 1 for U.S. politicians, type 2 for insurance companies, or type 3? Jesus Christ, Kit, what would ever make you say that? None of the above. What's wrong with you, brother? I wonder how many threes are going to be in the chat. I wonder. Do you ever wonder? And there's also something else here I want to bring up here, too. Where is Dana Fairbanks, MD? Ooh la la, where is she at? Here we go. Hold on. First of all, above that, I can be a doctor despite my shaky hands. Tai G, you're now the king's doctor. But DC Fairbanks says, as a physician, I can't tell you how much time I wasted on my phone fighting with predatory insurance companies for my patients to get treatment. Well, DC Fairbanks, that's why you're far more better than me. And I'm always impressed by my audience. See, I got warriors in my chat. Thank you for fighting for your patients. Because controversial statement here, DC Fairbanks. That's what you're supposed to do. You got the Mad King's support, as you should all the time, every time. And that's what physicians, doctors, and nurses should do. Somebody inside your facility or hospital sick, you help. What would make you say something so brave and controversial? Because I want to go ahead and time travel for a moment. I know, I've played this so many times. It's like, Jesus Christ, Kit, why? But I got to tell you, it matters. It matters because we ask these politicians. We ask these politicians for help. We asked these politicians for help, and they didn't do it. Never forget 2021. Shout out to Matt Orfala.
She died when I was younger. As she was about to leave her kids and her husband, my mom was worried about having to get treatment because it would have bankrupted our family.
Our insurance company refused my claims.
They'll gladly let a vulnerable boy and his family suffer.
I actually used to be a fiscal conservative, diehard Republican, and I lost everything.
This is my sister Diana, and the medications for her autism are more than $2,000 a month. The same medication in another country is $14.
Force a vote for Medicare for all.
We are the only developed nation on Earth that does not have some form of universal health care.
I went to the emergency room. They said that I needed to follow up with my doctor, and I can't go see a doctor. I don't have health insurance. I can't pay this bill.
I've been working in a nursing home about 5-6 years now, and they're telling me I don't deserve health care. I'm going tomorrow to a nursing home with active COVID patients.
Force the vote.
Let there be a vote for Medicare for all.
If we had a Medicare for all system, my dad could have just gone to the actual doctor and they would have caught the cancer earlier.
Force the vote now.
Hashtag force the vote.
People don't go to the hospital because they don't have insurance.
Force the vote.
We need Medicare for all.
By the time I had some idea of what to do to treat my illness, I could no longer afford to treat my illness.
Force the vote now. I am one of the many millions of Americans who have lost their health care.
If you actually care about defending the human rights of Americans,
force the vote.
I got stabbed in the chest, and their answer for me getting attacked was to charge me $270,000.
Force the vote.
I had a bone disease, and my doctor goes, "You're not making bone properly." And I was like, "Well, should I take a Viagra?" He's like, "No, it's not."
One day I stepped off a step the wrong way, and my spine collapsed. The insurance company wouldn't pay.
Force the vote.
My father had health insurance, and we had to fight the health insurance company to try to get to pay for his life-saving medication. And I was sitting in a hearing where one of the Blue Cross Blue Shield representatives was sitting in front of me laughing. And
now look, this lady's better than me too. You know, I think I've commented on this before, but she's far better than me, because if somebody was laughing, smirking all while hearing this, I think I would have lost it. I would have lost it. I would have gone nuts.
I leaned forward and reminded him that the dying man that you're laughing about is my father.
That's not right.
Force the vote.
Force it.
Both Republicans and Democrats support Medicare for all.
Force the vote.
Vast majority of our fellow citizens support it.
We expect our politicians to
force the vote.
And if the politicians aren't willing to demand it, then they should get out of the way.
Force a vote. I've had enough.
Force the vote.
If not now, when?
Force the vote.
They ran on Medicare for all. The squad needs to do their job. Hashtag force the vote.
Screw all these partisan politics. It's time to start fighting for the people.
Please force the vote.
Not tomorrow, now.
I don't want to see any more theater or Instagram posts about how much you're doing for us if you're not using your power in a real way.
Get things done.
Medicare for all would change my life.
Force the vote.
Power doesn't concede anything to polite requests.
Remember, we asked him for help, and Thomas Cross said it the best. Who fought force the vote the most? Not Republicans. You would think so. You would think so. Oh, it wasn't the GOP. You know me. It was the Democrats. I can't predict the future. What's going to happen with Mangione? I will have to say this. His defense is making a bold strategic move. And if they are able to successfully play this, perhaps Mangione has more of a fighting chance, especially because let's face it, this case is probably going to be going on even past 2026. I mean, that is, that's just how it is. Let's be clear on this. It's going to be a long time. It's going to be a long time. But if they're able to pull this feat off, it is a significant win. Again, anything can happen between now and then. So when I clip this video, I will have to say at the end of this update, there probably could be more legal paperwork, legal loops that Mangione is going to have to go through. So we will be doing an update on this. I'll be doing an update later this evening. So that's what I can do as a promise.